Hi everybody. Hope everyone had a good spring break. This is our first social studies video for the week. On page 120, we're on lesson 3, slavery in the colonies. Unfortunately, it's a dark topic in our country's history and in the world's history as well. But it does need to be talked about, and you guys do need to learn about it. And this isn't the first time we've talked about it, so this isn't an introduction. It just goes a little bit more in depth into the topic of slavery. So we talked about the triangular trade before spring break, just a quick review. How people traded both goods and slaves from England to North America, back to the West Indies, and then back to England again, okay? And it made like a triangle shape, so it was called triangular trade, okay? I'm going to start reading, so please follow along. Okay. In the summer of 1619, a Dutch ship carrying cargo that included a group of Africans landed at Jamestown. Local residents bartered or traded and for these Africans, and put them to work. They were not paid and received only food and shelter for their work. A few may have gained their freedom after some time. Within a few years, new laws were passed in Virginia and Massachusetts that took away all the rights from African servants. Slavery, a system in which people are bought and sold as if they were property, had begun in the English colonies. Now, if you guys remember, we talked about Jamestown when we learned about Pocahontas, and we watched the movie Pocahontas, how the settlers and Native Americans tried to get along for a period of time, and they did, but then eventually the English colonists and European colonists eventually wiped the Native Americans out. So slavery was already going on as early as this time. So the Dutch were trading slaves. The English, Spanish, pretty much all the European colonies were in the slave trade, as we would say. I'm gonna continue on under blue heading where it says slave trade. What began that summer soon grew into a large and horrifying business. Many groups of people have been enslaved throughout history, often as a result of war. In the growing colonies, however, workers were wanted. Indentured servants met part of this need, agreeing to work for a time. Enslaved Africans, however, made no such agreement. They were captured and taken against their will and without the hope of freedom. At first, enslaved people came mostly from the western part of Africa. Other Africans captured them, marching the captives to the coast where European traders awaited the ships. In return for human captives, the Europeans offered guns and other goods. The African captors used the guns to enslave more people. Okay. If you look, there's a picture on the bottom of page 120. Above it, there's a little caption in white print. I'm going to read that. Africans were captured and then crammed side by side into ships. They were bound for sale in the Americans. Okay, so this is actually a real diagram. You could see how close everybody was packed in. There was almost no room for them to even stand. So it's very disturbing. Let's go to page 121. You're going to have page 119 in your packet, but just disregard that because you've already done page 119. I just copied it as with the rest of the packet, so we're not going to do page 119, okay? So just go to page 121, okay? Okay. We're not going to do the top where it says draw a picture to illustrate one of these words. I'm just going to continue to read, so follow along with me where it says next came the terrifying journey at the top of page 121. Okay. Next came the terrifying journey to the Americas. This was called the Middle Passage. The captured Africans were packed into boats. They were chained together, body to body, in cargo loads. With little room to stand or stretch, they lay in darkness for weeks and months. Frightened and hungry, many people became sick and did not survive the trip. Many others wished they had died and were jealous of those who no longer had to suffer. That's how bad the conditions were. As one survivor of the Middle Passage wrote about those who had died, I envied them the freedom they enjoyed, and as often wished I could change my condition for theirs. So people were so desperate that they would rather die than be in the conditions that they were in. Okay. So the assignment for this little segment, or 2 pages that we read, is to fill in this graphic organizer on the bottom of page 121. And it's called The Horrors of the Middle Passage. The main idea is that the Middle Passage was a terrifying experience. That's obvious. They give you one supporting detail. The Africans lay in the darkness for months and didn't know where they were being taken. I want you guys to find 2 more supporting details that supports the main idea that the Middle Passage was a terrifying experience for these people. Remember, they were taken out of their land against their will, their homeland. It's like you being taken out of your home without any notice or choice, and not knowing what the future holds for you. So find 2 more supporting details. If you have to reread or rewatch this video, that's fine. And so find 2 more supporting details that support the main idea. And be sure to watch the, I believe it's a YouTube, oh no, it's a Brain Pop video today. I'm going to provide a link at the bottom of this video for the Brain Pop video that you should watch that explains the Middle Passage, more about the Middle Passage. And we'll take this up again. Social studies will be, Thursday. So the next video for your social studies will be Thursday. So be sure to watch the Brain Pop video today and complete your graphic organizer on the bottom of page 121. Thanks for watching.